Graph transformations. In this video we'll have a look at reflecting graphs in the x-axis and the y-axis. Okay, starting with the graph of y equals x squared plus 5x plus 6, which looks like this. And I've got 2 points A and B with these coordinates, and I'm going to reflect this curve in the x-axis. When we reflect something in the x-axis, any point that's above the x-axis ends up below, and any point that's below the x-axis ends up above. The x-coordinates do not change, but the y-coordinates change sign. So after the reflection here, the y-coordinates, which are both 2, become -2. And this U-shaped curve here will start to look like an N-shaped curve here. So we get this. And because the y values change sign, I'm going to replace the y with -y. And then the same equation as what we've got here on the right hand side. And if I change the signs throughout, because you wouldn't leave an equation in this form, minus y is equal to, you want to have it as y is equal to. So changing the signs throughout, so that becomes minus x squared minus 5x minus 6. So what effect does a reflection in the x-axis have on the equation of a graph? Well, it just changes the signs throughout, like it's done here. Okay, moving on to reflecting in the y-axis. So any point that's on the right hand side, after the reflection, that point will end up on the left hand side. Any point on the left ends up on the right. So what we can see from here is the x-coordinate changes sign. So if the x value there was 5, it's -5 here. If this was -1, it's +1 here. The y-coordinates do not change. So let's have a look at this graphically. Okay, so this is the original curve here with the points A and B. After a reflection in the y-axis, we'll find that point A will have x-coordinate 4, and point B will have an x-coordinate of 1, because the x-coordinates change sign. So this graph here becomes this, after the reflection in the y-axis. And as you can see, the x-coordinates have changed sign compared to these x-coordinates here. So just going back and forward between the two, and you can see the y-axis is acting like a mirror line. And I've just changed the scale here so we can see more of the graph. So this is the one before the reflection, after the reflection. Before, after. So what happens to the actual equation then? Well, we know that x becomes -x. All that is saying is that it changes sign. We're not saying that all x values end up becoming negative values. That's not the case. What we're saying is that x changes sign. So if I change all of these x terms to -x terms in brackets, we get y is equal to -x squared plus 5 times -x in brackets there, plus 6. This is the new equation after the reflection in the y-axis. Now we need to see what happens in terms of function notation. Okay, starting with y equals f of x. If that becomes y is equal to minus f of x, so we've changed the sign throughout for all the terms, this is a reflection in the x-axis. And if we change x to -x, that's a reflection in the y-axis.